host for you today. This has been planning in the making for, when did I reach out? Back in March, maybe April.
Oh my gosh.
And for those of you, we'll do our own introductions as well in our own speeches. But I started running my own events a couple of years ago, but nothing like this. And I was like, I want to do like a full day transformational event. And I've been fangirling over Beth for a while, and I didn't want to do it by myself. I wanted to do it with somebody who's a really awesome person. So I reached out to Beth and I was like, do you want to do a LinkedIn Live? And then what was it?
Was that my audition?
That was it. And then a couple of weeks later, I was like, I've got another proposal for you. And I sent her this, I put this in a post recently, like a 4.5-minute voice note, and she was like, sounds good, let's do it. So that's how this was all basically created. So before we go into a bit more details, I want to run you through today's agenda. Quite a lot here, so we're a little bit behind, but no problem. So we're going to do now our introductions and icebreaker questions. Then I'm doing my keynote, then we're going to have a quick 15-minute toilet, food break. Beth's doing her keynote, woo! And then just before lunch, we're going to have some speed networking. Who's done speed networking before? Love it. So that's why we're all set up at the back. And then we've got lunch, so you've got an hour and a half for lunch, so you can go to Mama Shelter, there are other places around.
Yeah, loads of cafes, you'll find some nice spots if you don't want to eat upstairs. But go and get some fresh air, because we realise this room has no windows. It's lovely and air conditioned, but if you need to see the sunshine and to get some grounding, go outside and enjoy some sunshine.
Get some vitamin D. And then we have the amazing Karen, woo, in the house, doing the breathwork ninja. So excited. And then after we've got some roundtable exercises, physical exercises. That is not why Casey's turned up in her exercise kit.
She's going to get us some squats and burpees and all the things.
And then we'll have another break, and then we've got our legend, Emma, doing the keynote. And then we've got a VIP fireside chat that Beth is doing with our VIP, Joanna. Woo! And then we're doing some final reflections, takeaways, and action stepping for your next steps. Cool. So, some introductions. Grace and Beth, who are we?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Shall I go?
Yeah.
So, it's gorgeous to see so many friendly faces that I've met before and so many new faces. So it's such a nice combo in the room. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Beth Hocking. I spent 20 years in corporate leadership, essentially, and you'll hear a little bit more about that. But now I'm a leadership branding strategist, which combines my kind of leadership activation with some kind of scroll-stopping personal branding as well. So I'm really excited to be with you today. Who are you?
I am Grace. I'm a personal branding and marketing strategist, and that's all I'm going to say for now because we are launching into my keynote after where I go a little bit deeper on that. Okay? What was our thinking behind Donut? I think we've probably covered this already.
Yeah.
So basically, we wanted to create an experience, not just a networking event, not just like come together, have some photos, like do some corporate stiff networking and then leave. An actual transformational experience where you're learning from experts, you're getting in the room, you're having conversations, you're networking, and also on top of that, you're getting to take a load of photos and have some awesome video footage as well.
Yay!
Anything else?
Maybe just to add, like some tools to put in your toolkit, which
For
is
sure.
why we're going to come on to the speakers in a minute. But some tools that you can kind of take away with you. So this is your like line in the sand, and we really want you to feel like you're walking out a different human, a different woman when you walk out the door than when you walked in, with the tools that you would have learned from the gorgeous speakers that we're going to hear from later.
Which takes us nicely into what made us choose the two legends, I added in that word, speakers that we did. So one of the whole points of bringing the topic today is really around owning who the fuck you are. So how many women in here, like, do you feel like you've held yourself back from going for the things that you want to go for, from saying the things that you really want to say? And a big part of this is especially, well, in business, but also in the workplace, stopping yourself from really promoting yourself, promoting your expertise. And so we wanted to have a totally transformational experience that wasn't just about me and Beth, it's also about you and what you can learn. So we wanted to bring in the best speakers who we'll leave them to talk about what they're going to do, but that is totally relevant to the focus of what we're doing today.
Yeah,
basically.
and I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but we're quite high vibe. And of course, we wanted Karen and Emma just stood out for us so much to match our energy and to complement what we wanted to talk about today. So just wanted to say thanks, guys, for like all of your presence online has been like exactly who you are, so linear to meet you and to know that you're exactly the same people as we see online. And that's why we chose you, is like we wanted your high vibes and your energy, and of course your massive skills and strengths. So thank you in advance.
For sure. And this is the benefit of putting yourself out there, even when maybe it doesn't feel so easy, of being unapologetic and self-promoting. Because this is the reason why we chose Karen and chose Emma, is because they are unapologetic about being loud on LinkedIn. So that's how they got our attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, who's ready for some icebreaker questions? Okay, so can you get your phones out? If you haven't connected to the Wi-Fi, you can do that. If Mama Shelter, it's open. And then if you just scan, if you can zoom in and scan the QR code, that is going to take you to 3 icebreaker questions that we have. And the first one is slightly controversial.
I know. It is a deal breaker whether we can be friends or not. Just saying.
And if you are partial to a bit of swiping on dating apps, you will see it's a prompt that is on there all the time.
Isn't it?
Fab. So has everyone managed to get on?
Yeah, just done it.
Yeah.
Mine.
Are we ready?
Seems to be.
So, number 1, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's dynamic voting.
Of course it does.
Oh, we see it changing in real time. The stock market.
I actually may just have to leave right now.
Are you a no?
I am a hell no.
I am definitely with the majority of you.
Are you?
I'm a hell yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's divided the room. Oh, what a shame. Hopefully we can do a bit better on the next one. So, the next one, coming at you. Less laughter on this one.
Oh, everyone's typing.
12 participants typing. What made you purchase this book?
Nah, I wanted to bring together loads of awesome people in the room.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Wearing bright gold clothing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You get it, I love that.
I love it.
So a few of these. I'm ready to stop playing small, wanted to be around incredible, ambitious women, a great taste into the world of coaching, excited to meet inspiring women and build confidence, curiosity to support my friends, wanting to own who I am, hanging with high vibe women, awesome women, awesome women. Same thing is coming up, and you're all awesome women. So you're in the right room.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Okay.
The graphic reeled me in. That was all
Oh,
there.
thank you, Canva.
We have a resident graphic designer over there. Fab.
Amazing. Oh, some love for Karen. Gorge.
Love it.
Yeah, our speakers were a big draw, not gonna lie. Like when we announced the speakers, the ticket sales went up. Just gonna say. Okay, are we ready for the last one? Maybe we can take a yes.
Oh, love it.
Oh, emojis. Look at all these E-words.
Yes, more emojis, please.
More emojis, more E-words. Look at the E-words. Loving them. Effing. I didn't know effing began with an E, but I love it. Woo. Maybe we should take a screenshot and just make sure that that's what we deliver.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Everyone done?
Does Slido decide which word goes in the middle?
No, it's the number of votes.
Oh.
So it is a word cloud. So the more people who have put empowered, the bigger it becomes. So no, Slido's just doing what the room tells it to do. There we go.
Gathering the data.
Okay, so let's screenshot that and maybe we can come. Oh, one's still awake. Typing. You will have more than one.
Yes.
Right.
How many people have written that with a like emoji?
Woo! Okay, loving that. There we go. Okay, that's your pause over. Time to get down to business?
Let's do it.
Oh, one still typing?
I'll take the lead again.
Lovely and proud. All right.
Fab.
Grace, the floor is yours, my
Woo!
friend.
Fab. I'm starting off with a bold question, which is, put your hand up if you have ever been told you were too much, or made to feel like you're too much, too loud, too bold, too full of yourself, to insert the thing.
Every
Fab. All hands.
You're in the right room for sure.
And that means our marketing worked. You were not too much, you were just in the wrong room. Because here's the thing, whether you're building a business, which I know some of you are, or for those of you in the workplace, you don't need to be more professional in the way that we typically define professional, more corporate, more polished. You need to be more you. Okay? So this is my keynote, the too much advantage, how to turn your personality into your most profitable asset in business. So I'm Grace, I'm a personal branding and marketing strategist, and I teach bold, big personality coaches how to turn their LinkedIn personal brand and natural influence into consistent leads from qualified buyers, sales calls booked on demand with ideal clients, and doubled and tripled revenue in 90 days. And this is even if you're not a natural salesperson or marketer, even if you've got no past experience, even if you have no clients lined up currently in your lead tracker, and definitely without ever having to be more corporate, more professional, or to have to mold yourself into something more polished to be taken seriously. I started my business 5 years ago, and I've built it over the last 5 years by being unapologetically myself. And I'm here to help you own it and do the same. So during my keynote, I have a couple of different pauses for reflection. So wherever you're writing, if you're doing it on your phone or in a notebook or on the pad, then I'm going to give you kind of 30 seconds to a minute. So we've got the first reflection already. So if your best friend introduced you on stage, what 5 words would they use to describe you? And this is not what you think about yourself, your best friend, okay? This is your power, and this is where you're starting. And you don't need to share this with anyone, so whatever you want to write. And then as an action point to go away from this event today, I want you to think about how you can tangibly start weaving these 5 words into your personal brand, the way you show up on LinkedIn, the way you show up in the workplace, in a way that feels totally authentic to you. Okay? But first, I'm going to take you back to 2015, where my entire story began. Okay? I was hired at a HR tech company, very ironically for employee engagement. I was hired for my personality and being a good culture fit, and it was amazing. I really, really loved the job. I felt very respected and valued for 2 years. But then 4 years later, in 2019, I was basically booted out the company with my mental health on the floor because I was too outspoken and I no longer fitted the mold. And it was very, very difficult, naturally, when your personality is the thing that people celebrate the most. When I was initially hired for my personality, for it to be the thing that meant they no longer valued me or wanted me there. And then in May 2020, I launched my coaching business. I was a COVID business. Who else was a COVID business? So my initial excitement turned into endless overthinking. And what I mean here is I was so excited to leave my job and say, I have no managers breathing down my neck, telling me what I can and can't do. I'm so excited to show up as myself, to say whatever I want on Instagram, because I started my business on Instagram. And it turned into endless overthinking. It wasn't as easy as that, and I was thinking, what if I turn people off? What if I say the wrong thing and lose followers? What if people don't take me seriously because I'm not professional enough? And there was a very specific example that I remember. I'd moved home back to my parents when COVID hit, and I ended up being there.
Oh, it might need your fingerprint, Ali, sorry.
And I ended up being back at my parents for about 5 months. And at the time, we had our beloved, me and my doggie, who sadly passed away 4 years ago, but she was the love of my life, a German Shepherd called Coco. And this was actually from COVID times. And I remember going out for a walk with her, and I specifically was thinking, I took a video of her, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to post it on my Instagram stories. And then I was like, but what if people don't think it's professional enough? Like, it's not about business. Are people going to unfollow me? Do people, like, are they not going to take me seriously? And I remember overthinking it for 30 minutes. I was like, should I post it, should I not? And I decided not to post it. And this went on for 6 months, 6 whole months, where I was fighting this internal battle of wanting to just say whatever the fuck I wanted, but holding myself back. And what changed, it wasn't some massive pivotal thing, but it was just the realization that if I wanted to be the leader in my niche, if I wanted to be that person who my ideal client looked up to, I had to be the voice for the people that didn't yet feel confident to own their own voice. And this is what leadership is all about in business, in the workplace. It's about being that person that does and says the things that the people that you want to hire, the people you want to influence, aren't yet prepared to do and say themselves, but they want to. Because yes, it's not just about being an inspiration. You want people to hire you, to give the promotion, to pay you, but people hire the people that they see being like that, doing cool stuff, and really owning it. So what I learned from this, just say and post the damn thing. Easier said than done sometimes, but you need to, it's so important to not give a fuck what people think about you, okay? People spend so much of their life worrying, do others approve? Will people like this? Will people get turned off? But ultimately, that internal conviction and approval has to come from yourself. And the quicker you stop looking for external validation from people or external approval, this is when your success is going to inevitably take off. People hire the people that they admire and look up to. But it wasn't all unicorns and rainbows after 6 months, because even last year, I had another dip in the road. And I found that my content on LinkedIn, for those of you who know, I market myself on LinkedIn, I started to tone it down again. I started looking around the online space, who's done this, and comparing yourself to everybody who seems like they're further ahead in the journey from you. And I started to feel so inauthentic and so not me. And it wasn't just my sales, my business, the amount of clients coming in that took a dip. It was about how I felt in business, because I felt inauthentic. It felt so not me that I was toning down who I was, because I think I started to think again, what if people don't think it's professional? What if I lose followers by saying something that's a little too outspoken and out there? And the pivotal point for me was only 6 months ago. I took 7 days off LinkedIn over Christmas to be with my family, and I did some really intense reflection, all about what I wanted my vision to be, where I'd been toning myself down, what I wanted my message to be going into the new year. So here is your second reflection. Where are you currently filtering your voice right now? What are you not saying that you want to say? Okay, here is the thing, leadership isn't about being perfect, and I'm coming to this in a little bit about how much marketing has changed, and Beth will probably cover this in terms of in the workplace, but for those of you building a business, marketing has changed so much in the last 5 years. I'm going to come to that in a little bit. Because now, more than ever, it's about being real and raw, unfiltered, human and authentic. And I will say, the word authentic and authenticity is a word that I've come to actually kind of hate because it's got overused so much. But still, it really is about being yourself. Because real people and real brands are the ones that get remembered and that people feel deeply emotionally connected to. And before we go into that a little bit more, I want to tell you about a client story, my client Carissa, who went from inconsistent 3 to 5K months to consistent 30K months within 7 months of working together. And one of the biggest shifts as to how this managed to happen was very simply because the more she got in business, the faster her clients bought. And this is a direct quote that I wrote down at the time when she said it to me on a call, was, "I used to hate sales, but you've made me fall in love with selling by showing me I can just be myself." How many of you feel like when you're self-promoting, when you're putting yourself forward, when you're selling, do you start to think, oh, but what if I shouldn't do this? What if it's a bit awkward and uncomfortable? And one of the biggest things that I work on with all of my clients is how to sell in a way that feels like you. Because I think we've all been made to believe from this stereotypical car salesperson where they're trying to force something onto you that you don't want. This is what makes people feel so awkward and uncomfortable when they're selling. But if you reframed the way you see sales to, I'm showing up, I'm being myself, I'm attracting the right people, and I'm just having human conversations with people, and I'm asking them questions, and I'm collecting data, and if I believe they're a good fit, then I'm going to invite them to work with me. And when I work with my clients on this, the shift that they get from, I just had a sales call and I could just be myself and they signed up, is amazing. So this is a reminder, a case study, that the more you actually just release this potential fear of selling and coming across as awkward and uncomfortable, or self-promoting in the workplace, the quicker you're going to actually see the results that you want. So who remembers online marketing in business 5 years ago in COVID times? It has shifted so much over the last 5 years. I remember starting on Instagram and everything was just endless educational content, just like me talking to you, you buy from me. But here's the thing now, this old picture-perfect influencer life is out. Cold pitching is out. Endless educational content is out. But what's in is messy, real, and authentic. It's community. It's making people feel something. And in a world of AI, nothing against AI, I'm a huge fan, but in a world of AI and copy-paste content, your edge is you. We can all spot a mile off on LinkedIn, right? The automated comments, the content that has so obviously been written by AI without any editing at all. And the quicker you understand this, again, the quicker things are going to fall into place for you. Your personality, now more than ever, is literally your unfair advantage. It has never been easier, ironically, with the space becoming more saturated, it has never been easier to actually stand out online where more and more people are creating this robotic content, robotic transactional AI content. So this is where you need to lean in to your personality. That post that you thought, oh, it's a bit messy, it's a bit real, it's a bit raw, it's a bit authentic, it's a bit like, is anyone going to care? This is the content that you need to post. Messy screenshots of client wins, post it. Don't fancify it in some Canva graphic. This is the stuff that works in 2025. So here is your reflection. What's one thing that you would say online? I don't know why, he never does this when I'm at home.
She went as well.
So what's one thing that you would say online if you knew your dream clients would love you even more for it? Or similarly in the workplace? Because that's the thing after this event, I want you to go and post. Not necessarily today, but next week. That's it today.
Preferably with a photo from owner.
Lots of opportunities for photos.
Do you take selfie requests?
Yeah, I think I have to with me. So yeah, what's that one thing, maybe two, maybe three, that you really want to say, but you find that you keep holding yourself back from saying it, but you knew if you said it, you would attract the right people even more. Something a bit polarizing, controversial, calling out industry bullshit, or similar. So here is a mini 3-step action plan that you can go away and do immediately for turning your personality into profit this week. So where have you been holding back? We've already covered some of this, but spend some time after the event as well, really thinking, where have you been holding yourself back? And again, it's kind of if you're thinking, oh, it feels a bit awkward, your business, your services, you are not made for everybody. And you have to be, I say this as somebody that does like to be polarizing, but you have to be polarizing in some way so that you can attract in the right people. If you're middle of the road, if you're vanilla, if you agree with everything, that's nice, but it's not memorable. So think about the people in society, people at high profile positions. The people who say what they want to say, controversial, whether you agree with them or not, you all know who they are. Create one piece of content this week that leads into that. So what is something that would show off your views, your opinions, your personality, the way that you think about stuff, in a way that is relatable to your ideal client? And then I want you to commit to showing up with that energy in every single post, not just for the next 7 days, beyond, but for the next 7 days. Every time you write a post, ask yourself, am I filtering myself here? Is this really actually me? Am I saying something that is going to push away the people I don't want to work with and magnetize even more strongly the people I do? And also, I will add in here, think about how you can weave more personality into, I think all of you probably on LinkedIn here, into your LinkedIn profile immediately. Can you jazz up your graphics? Can you put something personality filled into your tagline? I actually have obsessed with dogs and personality tests. But it's a great conversation starter, the amount of people that come to me, oh my god, I'm also obsessed with dogs, which just turns into, show me your dog. Me basically asking for photos of everyone's dogs. So something that creates a point of conversation that's not just about business from the offset, but just about something, a mutual connection point. So now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how you can work with me. So, if you want to get results fast in your business, whilst totally unfiltering every ounce of your personality, then let's discuss. So, I have an upcoming program called Clients on Demand. And this is an 8-week group LinkedIn strategy program teaching you how to create messaging that converts clients fast without having to be a boring corporate robot or lose your voice or who you are in the process. And this program is teaching you how to generate consistent leads to your business from qualified buyers, book sales calls on demand every single week with ideal clients, and double, even triple your revenue within the next 90 days. Even if you're not a natural marketer or salesperson, even if you currently have no potential clients lined up and your lead tracker is empty, and definitely without ever having to tone down your personality, mute your voice, or mold yourself into someone you're not just to be taken seriously. Because the thing is, when your message hits, when it lands with the right clients, you don't need to wait for people to be ready, because they instantly feel you, your energy, the message you're putting out there, and they feel ready now because they understand how you can help them. And here's just a snapshot of some of my client results. Like Alicia, who went from 0 business idea to being fully booked in just 90 days of working together. Vicky, who jumped from a 2K month to £14,000 in new sales within 6 weeks. My client Carissa, who I already spoke about, but she started signing $3,000 a month retainers within 30 days, despite previously charging $100 an hour for her services and totally burning out from the work that she was doing. My client Beth, who signed a £1,600 client within 24 hours of paying my invoice and went from 0 to 6 sales calls in just 14 days and is now booking 4 to 5 calls each week. My client Joe, who sold out 30 spots to her photography project and made 9K in sales within a 30-day period. And my client Nina, who booked 5 sales calls in the space of 5 days, closed 2, and made £5,500 in new sales. But what's impressive here is not just the money. It's about how they felt in the process of doing it. Because this is about building a successful business without losing who you are. It's about using your personality as your unfair advantage and making sales in a way that feels totally authentic and natural to you. So we use my proven fuck waiting framework, okay, which is teaching you how to convert clients fast without spending hours every day in the DMs, because I know that you started your businesses for freedom and not to be trying to find clients. And without having to endlessly nurture people for 6 months or set up any complicated funnels. I keep my business simple and I teach my clients how to do the same. And this is what we'll implement together inside Clients on Demand. So this is for the woman who is ready to make more money in the next 60 days than she has in the last 6 months, because playing small just isn't her style anymore. For the woman who knows that she is fucking incredible at what she does and is ready for her income to catch up with her expertise. For the woman who wants to unapologetically carve out her path and become the in-demand icon that everybody wants to hire, because women see themselves in her and they want to grow with her and be in her energy. And for the woman who is done shrinking her goals and is totally unapologetic about making a fuck ton of money, doing what she loves, and showing other women that they can do the same as well. So what's included? This is 8 weeks, 8 live strategy calls, a thriving community of rebel entrepreneurs, and the investment for this is just $997 or 3 times $397. Your £97 from today can be used as credit towards your spot, and if you pay in full, you get a 60-minute one-to-one strategy call with me worth £500. And if you buy in the room today and pay in full, I will gift you a second 60-minute one-to-one strategy call as well. So now as we finish up, I have a final thought, which is that your personality isn't just your superpower. It is literally the key that unlocks the next level of your business. So what are you going to do today to step into it?
Queen of messaging and branding. Thank you very much. Are you taking any questions, or do you want to?
Oh yeah, if there's any questions.
In a break.
I mean, we're around all day.
In a break, ask her some questions, pick her brains. She's incredible, as you can see. Yeah.
Go on.
What's the
Go on.
What's the one thing that you think helped unlock kind of not giving a fuck and you like really unlocking that personality? Was it a gradual process or was it just like okay, here I am world?
So I do in a way have a natural advantage that I'm a middle child and I've always been a bit outspoken, a bit loud. However, as I said, like for those first 6 months of business, it didn't serve me in any way because I found myself really holding myself back. And it really was that realization that if you want to attract the right people to your business, at some point, you just have to get over yourself. Because if you continue muting yourself, you're not doing anyone a favor. You feel inauthentic to yourself, and you know that you're literally blocking the right people from saying, that's my person. So this is the first exercise we did that I can recommend to everyone is, what are those 5 words? And then really think about how you can start tangibly infusing these into your content in a way that, like, just small steps at a time. What's a small way that you could start being more, whatever your word, it's fun. What's a small way that you could start, showing that you have like a really hilarious sense of humor? So just taking these like small steps, and then gradually it will snowball. And before you know it, you'll be the most controversial person on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't think I have an issue posting controversial stuff, but where I kind of come against a wall is things that my company was not working on. So the most controversial thing in the industry I work in is probably taxation, and I think from previous experience that my company would take an issue with me posting my views on it. How would you navigate that sort of environment in corporate?
So it's a difficult situation if you are employed and if saying something is literally going to get you sacked or in trouble. So in a way there does have to be a balance, because if you've got people at your company who are following you and have explicitly said, we don't want you posting on this, then it's difficult to move around that if you don't want to get sacked. But I would think about what are some other opinions or just that don't relate to that more controversial thing. It could just be generally about life stuff. It could be about other stuff that you see on LinkedIn, topics that you see in the media, things that you really like want to use your voice for.
Yeah, actually, maybe I'll add.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we own our own LinkedIn profile. Your company does not own your LinkedIn profile. However, if it was going to get you to a point where it's going to get you into trouble, I probably wouldn't post it. But at the same time, I would definitely leverage your personal brand for your company's benefit, because actually, like, look at, it's such a cliche example, but Richard Branson has got much more followers than Virgin Atlantic does. And the more that you lean into your personal brand and your voice and owning that, then the more benefit it has for your company. So that I would see it as there's leverage. Like, let's flip the script around it being a negative, but actually, those things that are positive and that you can speak for and that you do have a thought, leadership, voice and opinion on, which I know you do, like, actually let's leverage those rather than shy away from them.
What do you think about doing personal posts? So do you think all of your posts should be business related but showing your personality, or what are your thoughts on people that just post stuff like this Facebook?
I'm really glad that you asked this question, actually, because it's something I've been working on with a lot of my clients. So, full transparency, earlier this year, my brother actually gave me a reality check. He was like, you have this really fun tone of voice, all your graphics are like personality filled, but he was like, you talk about building a humanized brand and all of your content is just around business. And I was like, oh yeah, you've got a point, actually. So this is when at the beginning of this year, I flipped a lot of my content, and without going into everything that complicated marketing jargon and whatever, a lot of them, I would say half the content you do each week, you want it to be this fun brand building content. So content that's not even about business. Think of like broad topics that are related to what you do and are relevant for your ideal client, but are not directly business focused. So this could be stuff like mental well-being, balancing stress while running a business, resilience, stress and burnout, productivity, these kinds of things, happiness, work-life balance. So these are all topics that are totally relevant to the wider audience, and this is the stuff that really shows the person behind the brand. This is the kind of content that gets way more engagement, and it means that you're always bringing new ideal clients into your audience. So yes, I would say like absolutely like make sure not all of your content is around business. Think about people are logging onto LinkedIn like in a coffee break, like 5 minutes between meetings. They want to see fun stuff that makes them connect with somebody, not just read something that's only about business.
But you keep it like informative, like you said, like well-being, rather than just where you went on holiday or what you have for dinner. It needs to be something that's going to educate.
So this is my opinion personally. Like if there's a learning, not just like, oh, here's a photo of my dinner that I made last night. But if there's a way, like I recently got back from a 10-day holiday in Greece, like here are 4 ways I switched off, you know, and balanced my mental well-being. So something that's a bit more of a learning, but it's showing people this behind the scenes. And last point, like what I encourage all my clients to do is start taking photos of stuff that you're doing behind the scenes. Because why is it that everybody is so curious about reality TV? Because humans are naturally like wanting to find out more about people, and the more emotionally invested people get into you, the more they're going to feel connected to you.
Yeah, and Grace does this really well. If you're not following her, check it out. There's also someone else in the room who does this exceptionally well.
Yeah, she
Mia,
does.
have a little follow of Mia, and Mia does some really great posts, and they get huge engagement, and it's really great for your brand building. So I would just wanted to call you out and say, I have noticed, and you do it exceptionally well. So
it was all from your advice. I did get advice from that.
She totally smashed it, and now she has way more engagement than I ever did. Damn girl!
But it says, Mia does do it well, and a lot of yours, because she travels a lot, it's a lot of like this lifestyle content, but it's behind the scenes of your life and creating this, painting the vision of what people want.
Yeah, that Where is Home post was like, exceptionally good.
Thank you.
Would you say that LinkedIn is always going to be the right platform to kind of like mix the two worlds together? Because sometimes, especially the corporate world, can be quite subjective in a way. So
can I give an example?
Go ahead.
When you asked the question, I wanted to share that I had an amazing post this week with the engagement. So I got divorced on Monday, finally.
Oh, I saw that.
We cheered. And I posted about it on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
And I did make a little link to, because I'm a career coach, and I linked it a little bit to, you know, if you're stuck in something that you don't like anymore, you need to fix it or get out, kind of thing. That post got me 70,000 impressions.
Wow.
It's like the biggest I've ever had.
I need to
And
get
just do And people commented and liking, and the engagement was incredible. I was like totally stunned. So this morning I did another post about the engagement that coming in. So to your question, yes, it's a little bit linked to what I do, but it was totally personal, and it landed. So even LinkedIn people are humans. So don't know if that helps.
So interesting,
There you go, So don't go out and get divorced if you don't need to. It's a great lesson.
I hate posting personal stuff. I get the can't, you know, I feel comfortable posting stuff because I get scared like about posting it, so I need to get over.
No, do it.
I always like to look at it as if it was the difference maker between success and failure in your business, you'd do it.
Of course,
right? So that's like how I like to look at it. It's like, okay, it feels uncomfortable, but I'm going to rip off the plaster because if this is the difference, that's what I want to have laid it all out and not left anything on the table.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you that aren't doing it yet, another action point is go away and create one piece of content that's on one of these more broad business topics and watch the conversations that come in. Because this is the kind of content that people will absolutely engage with, because you're not trying to sell to them, it's just an easy conversation starter. And make sure I advise putting a conversation starter at the bottom, so it creates this conversation. And then you're giving, it's easy for people to engage, and that's where your conversations come from. Cool.
All
I
right.
think yes, we'll
That was great. I loved it.